So, what's a single sentence worth? Well, in the wild world of crypto, a few words from a president can literally be worth billions. We're about to break down exactly how one political statement sent a massive shockwave through the entire crypto ecosystem, basically changing fortunes overnight.
And it all kicked off with this. In a recent interview, President Trump didn't just kind of hint at being pro-crypto. No, he made this direct, super unambiguous call to action that was heard by investors all around the globe. This wasn't just talking points. It was a crystal clear signal to the market. But honestly, it went way beyond just Bitcoin. The president doubled down on his pardon for Binance's CZ. He took a clear shot at China's anti-crypto stance, and this is the big one. He signaled that friendly crypto regulation would be a top priority. He even framed crypto as something that helps strengthen the US dollar. Now that is a powerful message, especially for the big institutional investors. Okay, so you have this massive green light from the highest office in the land. How did the notoriously jumpy crypto market respond? Let's dig into the immediate financial impact, because it was fast. Well, the first and most obvious tell was Bitcoin itself. It just shot up 3 to 5% almost instantly, climbing back over that huge $100,000 psychological level to hit over 104 grand. This was a super sharp reversal from a weekly low of 98K, and it just goes to show you how fast sentiment can flip in this space. And this good vibe wasn't just a Bitcoin story. The rally was broad. I mean, look at this chart. Ethereum jumped 5%, and XRP saw an even bigger pop at 7%. This was basically a market-wide sigh of relief, with money just pouring back into all the major digital assets. Now, to really get why this statement hit so hard, you have to look at the economic backdrop. The market was already seriously on edge. A 36-day government shutdown had just sucked an estimated $75 billion of liquidity out of the system. There was a lot of fear. So the president's pro-crypto stance was like the perfect counterpunch to all that anxiety. But the story doesn't stop with the big guys like Bitcoin and Ethereum. To really see the mechanics of this shockwave, we're going to follow the ripple effect all the way from the top of the market down to a small altcoin called PulseChain.
First off, what even is PulseChain? Think of it like this. It's a fork of Ethereum. So basically a copy of the network that runs with its own cheaper rules. It was designed by Richard Hart specifically for what he calls ETH refugees. Users who were getting priced out by Ethereum's super high gas fees. And this is the ecosystem where our case study lives. And right inside that ecosystem, you've got PulseChain, or PZEN. It's the utility token that kind of powers the whole decentralized finance world on PulseChain. People use it for everything, earning rewards through yield farming and staking, voting on where the network goes next, the whole shebang. So how does a big statement about Bitcoin affect a little token like PZEN? Well, it all comes down to what the source material calls the BTC gravity effect. It's a great analogy. Think of Bitcoin as the sun in our crypto solar system. When something that massive makes a big move, its gravitational pull is strong enough to drag the smaller altcoins right up along with it. And this isn't just a cool theory. The numbers actually back it up. PZEN has what's called a historical beta correlation of about 0.7 with Bitcoin. All that really means is their movements are pretty tightly linked. So as you can see here, if Bitcoin jumps up by 5%, PZEN has historically followed right behind with a rise of about 3 to 4%. It's a real quantifiable relationship. And guess what? That is exactly what happened this time. After the market-wide rally kicked off by the president's comments, Zen didn't just follow, it actually amplified the move, jumping between 8 and 12% in a single day. A perfect textbook example of that BTC gravity effect in action. So, based on all this momentum, the Source Crypto Pulse laid out a few potential scenarios. In the very short term, they projected PZEN could hit 2.5 cents, just riding this wave of good feeling. Looking at about a month, if Bitcoin keeps running and breaks past $120,000, they see a possible path for PZEN to get all the way up to 3 cents. All right, so let's zoom back out again. Beyond the crazy price action, what does this political shift really signal for the entire industry? This is about the long-term future of crypto regulation and what it means for absolutely everyone, from you and me to the biggest institutions on Wall Street. See, a friendlier regulatory environment could set off this incredible chain reaction. First, it could just open the floodgates for big institutional money to pour into blockchains like PulseChain. That influx of cash could then seriously boost staking rewards, the interest you earn. We could see APRs go from 20% to over 40%.
And finally, with clear rules for stablecoins, we could see a massive surge in money moving between different blockchains. And the potential scale here is just immense. As Ripple's Patrick Witt put it, the long-term game for a pro-crypto US policy isn't about billions. He's talking about trillions in adoption. That's the kind of number that could genuinely reshape the entire global financial landscape.
Which, of course, brings us to our final question. We just saw how one statement can shake an entire market, with ripples going all the way down to the smallest assets. But when you look at the really big picture, it has to make you wonder. Are we watching the moment where one political endorsement starts to truly reshape the entire future of global finance?